maybe kind of establishing that we play together. Do you know what I mean? Like, we play music together all around Little Tokyo.
I don't know you.
2, 3, and... Stars shining bright above you. Night breezes seem to whisper I love you. Birds singing in the sycamore tree. Dream a little dream of me.
Oh, let me tell you.
Let me tell you a story.
Let me tell you the story. I heard about Miko. Just everyone always talked about. Oh, Miko Shudo, she's so good. She's so good. She sings jazz so well. And then I remember hearing you at gigs and stuff, and I was like, oh yeah, she's really good. She's
like,
so. No, I was like, she's so serious. I could never talk to someone like that because I'm not that level of musician. We were both at that one talent show at Nishi, and I walk in there just with me and my guitar just by myself, and then Miko rolls up with her like 5-piece band, and she was like, "This is a talent show? Yeah, I'm here to win. I'm here to demolish the competition," which you did. I was like, oh my god.
Say nighty night and kiss me. Just hold me tight and tell me you miss me. Well, I heard about you before I met you through Scott. Like, oh, this one guy at Gardena JCI, he open mic or something, or jam.
Mm-hmm.
He's super good, but he's also like a science guy or something. I don't know. I just heard some like very vague description. I was like, oh, that's
science. Yeah, Scott always talks about how he discovered me there.
Yeah, he was discovered by Scott Nagatani. Dream a little dream of me. Take it away, Michael.
Yeah, our first gig together was my brother's wedding to your cousin. And after that performance, everyone always said like, oh, you guys were so good. I didn't even know it was a live performance. It sounded like a recording.
Mm-hmm. And there were like 500 people there, so of course they probably couldn't even see us perform. They just heard us.
We were in the dark. Rightfully so. It was their first dance. Like.
Yeah. Did you think it was less serious after that?
Yes.
I've heard multiple people tell me that they thought I was serious the first time they met.
That's because you always roll with the crew and you roll so deep. And you know everybody, it seems like.
Dream a little dream of me. Dream a little dream of me. Dream a little dream of me.
Well, I always heard about Scott and Danny / Hiroshima because both Scott and Danny are like classmates of my parents. And so they would always be like, oh yeah, Danny's in Hiroshima. He's like super famous. So I always thought he was like untouchable and unknowable. You know, he was just a concept.
Yeah. An icon.
Yeah. And then I found out, oh, he's neighbors with my grandma.
Wow. That's wild.
Yeah. So, I mean, every year, you know, Grateful Crane would have their annual fundraiser dinner at Nishi. And that would be like the one time a year that like we'd get like the full band, right? Like we'd get a piano player, a bass player, and a drummer. And so Danny would always be that drummer. So that was like my first chance to play with Danny. Back then, he was still doing a lot more other gigs, and so he was in and out of town. And then ever since the pandemic, I feel like maybe it's also that I've felt more emboldened to ask him.
Emboldened.
Yeah, to just meekly ask, Danny Yamamoto, would you so kindly play the drums with us? You know?
We'll understand if you say
yeah,
no. It's
I mean,
totally fine.
yeah, like my meager offerings.
You have to pay to play, but
Yeah.
will you still play with us?
Yeah.
Just kidding.
You have to buy a ticket.
You have to buy a ticket. So true.
And he was like, yeah, sure, I'll play. I was like, what? Is that easy?
He said yes, you guys.
And more recently, I just like hanging out with him and hanging out at his house, Debbie and everything,
Mm-hmm.
It's more about sitting and talking with them.
The hang.
More than it is like the jam,
Mm-hmm.
You laid the framework for what it means to be a musician and to perform in the community. I mean, yeah, me and Miko were talking about how, we go to these events and stuff and we'd see you up there, and then we were both like, that's the dream, that's the goal, that's what we want to aspire to be. And then, so now it's just an honor to be able to play with you at basically the same events. But I do remember being like, should I email Danny? Do you think? I was like, he's a big, like, legendary player, and like, I don't know, I'm just some kid with Miko.
I'm glad you did. Yeah, I have had a lot of fun.
No, I'm glad
with you guys. Yeah, definitely.
Danny Yamamoto.
There was no real precedent. I mean, I think the camps upended a lot of the arts. And so I think the Nisei generation wanted to just blend in, right? And I think being poor, being lower middle class or poor, they didn't emphasize the arts that much. That was certainly the case in my family. I mean, they didn't play instruments. We didn't go to concerts. Although they wanted me to get music lessons, I guess to be well-rounded or whatever.
Yeah.
That
Asian stereotype started early, huh?
I guess. I don't know. I mean, but it wasn't until junior high where I played in the orchestra. I played violin in the orchestra. I don't know why I decided to pick up violin, but I did. Yeah, beginning violin. And got to be in the orchestra and see all the different instruments that my attention just gravitated to the drums. I wanted to play drums, but there were too many drummers, so I had to settle for violin.
Why did you gravitate towards the drums?
I'm not sure, but I think and this was probably all subconscious. I think it was a way for me to feel like I was hip, and the drums are so loud, and I think it was a way to express something that was really difficult for me to express in the day-to-day. You know, I'm an introvert. I'm not gregarious. I'm shy, and I think drums was a way to let out those feelings, those extrovert, those loud, brash feelings.
We have zucchini and
Is that how they say it in Britain?
zucchini, enoki, zucchini. Wait, and then salt. Touch of salt. Delicious. Wow. Then we have the crowning barbecue of miso eggplant.
Miso.
Delicious.
Nice.
But he has like a cool mustache.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know that guy. Yeah, I played with him once. He seemed pretty cool.
Uncle Rick, he was the music director at my church. So.
Really?
But I guess he plays at Westlight because Bruce plays at your church?
Yeah, yeah.
And they're buddies. And so every once in a while, Bruce asks Uncle Rick to go play with you guys.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Hello, Mr. Handsome and Miss Real Beautiful. I'm feeling good, hope the feelings are mutual. If not, well, I got the remedy, the cure. And don't get it twisted, my intentions are
He
pure.
was the one that really spearheaded like having a youth music program at the church. I was actually part of like the second generation of these bands that came through. But yeah, he was really the one that encouraged us to play music, to try different instruments, to sing when we clearly did not want to sing, but he was like, you should sing anyway. I'm gonna put a mic in your face.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And yeah, I definitely wouldn't be singing if it wasn't for him.
Wow.
Even when the sun goes down, I will shine and spread my love around. And even when the moon goes out, I will shine and give my love to you.
I'm sure you noticed in the seats singing worship, and no one's singing loudly.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
If it's a mostly Japanese American church, it's quiet.
It's quiet.
Really? I thought that was uniquely Buddhist, JAs.
No, it's JAs.
Things in life, the smiles and compliments that help us get by. So please take the song as a gentle reminder that life is much brighter if you're generally kinder. So once he
He
does,
was like, as JAs, it's going to be tough for you to like express yourself on the stage, but you're just gonna have to like get over that.
That's what he said?
Not so bluntly. It was so encouraging though. It wasn't like, you know, if you really didn't want to, maybe he wouldn't. But I mean, he was pretty forceful about it.
give my love to you. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Ba-dum, ba-dum, da-da-da.
Growing up, I would see how much African American communities would nurture the up and coming young artists, and like there would be this very strong community and connection between generations, and of the older generations not only sharing their information but embracing the developments of the younger generation and acknowledging that and helping them come up. And I felt like there's some of that missing in the Japanese American community.
And Trip, this is not true in Japan. It's just us. You know what I mean? It's just us because our voices were silent. I mean, we weren't taught our language. You know, music was never nurtured in us. It wasn't like, it was always be a dentist, be a doctor, you know what I mean? Be a professional and keep this on the side.
There's no country. It isn't hard to do.
That we had to overachieve, and we were taught to overachieve. And we were taught to be quiet, to gaman. Gaman was like, it's like, you know, I mean, I get gaman, but it's like, kind of like all the you need to talk about is the stuff we don't talk about.
Yeah, and I think to
you know?
be an effective musician, singer, communicating through music requires a level of vulnerability, and I feel like we're just not willing to.
A whole lot of vulnerability.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, most sansei guys that I know that sang, that weren't singers, they would all do the where they sang everything an octave lower. I've got sunshine, and I'm going, your voice, you know, like they couldn't sing falsetto. You know what I mean? It was kind of like, or it was like I'm showing off. From like, you know, when I play, oh, you're just showing off. I'm going, you know, well, yeah. You know what I mean?
That's the point.
That's the point. I'm showing.
My whole life doing this.
I'm showing, you know what I mean? I'm showing, you know, what's important to me. And that's, I think JAs don't do that enough. And I think it goes back to camp. But to be creative, I mean, it's a different, and to nurture that, you got to be willing, that's even harder.
Yeah.
You may say I'm a dreamer. They say that I'm a dreamer.
In terms of a mentor, I'll just say that I'll encourage them all to death. But that's probably important, because I don't know how much of it. You guys might get it, but like I'm saying, that's not something that, you know, I got. It really makes me happy to see all you guys. It gives me a good feeling.
Yeah.
You go, wow.
No, whenever you say that, it feels very genuine. Like,
Yeah.
You
know.
Yeah, you've always supported us, you know, Miko and I, so.
I especially like that you guys have your own voice and you're not just trying to be popular. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or you know, sorry if you are been trying to be popular or not. But, you know.
I'm like, well, we're trying. We just want
We're just not that popular.
Yeah.
but you know what I mean? That you're like doing stuff that like you have a principle to what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know.
Sure.
So.
And the world will live as one. Oh.
No, so to me, I didn't know Japanese music growing up. And my idea of Japanese American music, I think, was really Mike Shinoda's song. Do you know the Fort Minor? Kenji? Do you know that song?
Oh, maybe.
That meant first generation in the United States when everybody was afraid of the Germans, afraid of the Japs, but most of all afraid of a homeland attack. And that morning,
So like this was the first song that I'd ever listened to that like had this theme, like lyrics about Japanese American experience. So that was, I was like, oh, I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah.
Then that like made me think that that's what Japanese American music was.
I mean, Hiroshima has a song called Manzanar. Dan liked to explain the songs a lot of times before we did them. I always took issue with that. The way he described it before we did it. He would talk about how the shakuhachi is like the wind in the desert. And the koto was like the stars at night when it was really dark out there in the desert. I never felt the need to explain unless people ask. Yeah, there are too many really good JA musicians out there who are doing really diverse things. So I can't generalize about it. Whatever it is, because I can't define it, has been born out of this, out of growing up in this community.
You know, growing up, people would go, "What's Japanese American music?" And I couldn't really give them an answer because we didn't really have anything, you know. I mean, later on you could quote Hiroshima, or you could quote Nobuko, or you could, you know, there were a few examples, but before that, when they would ask me, I would always go, and then finally I came up with an answer. This was later though, it's whatever I play.
Nice.
You know.
Yeah, I think it would be hard to like lay a all-encompassing, comprehensive definition of like what Japanese American music is. You know, Scott said this. He's like, Japanese American music is whatever I'm playing. And I mean, he kind of said it jokingly, but also it's very true. Like, he really understands it, and he really knows like the songs and how they relate to the community. But even for those of us that aren't doing that, it's still, yeah, whatever we're playing, it's kind of like Japanese American music. Not because of the sounds that we're making, but I think because of who we are as people, and that you said, like, we came from the community and we're giving back to it in that way.
I think music was a doorway for me to think about my heritage or my Japanese American self, you know, because before that I didn't really think about it that much, because going to Coliseum Street School was, I think it's so unusual, because at that time right here in Crenshaw, Coliseum Street School was probably 90% Asian. So at least, and mainly JA.
Yeah.
So in a way, in an odd way, I didn't have to think about my JA-ness.
Because you were surrounded by it.
Exactly.
That was the normal. Yeah.
Exactly. So I guess once I got into junior high, I went to Audubon, and you know, it was like 80-85% black, and maybe 15% Asian, and the same with Dorsey. It made me think about myself differently, obviously. And
Yeah.
Going on to UCLA, the same thing. Like when I was playing with Nobuko Miyamoto, she's been an activist most of her life. you know, and so she opened me up to this whole other area of, you know, activism or JA activism. The band as well, you know, with Dan being like the first Asian American studies courses ever in a college.
One thing that always sticks out to me is that he always tells us to look at the lyrics, which is something that I tend not to do. I'm like, music is music. You don't need words. Classical music didn't need words. But yeah, like when he's saying that, you know, especially since it's Japanese, and even knowing the words, like I won't necessarily know the meaning. So then, like, not only knowing the Japanese lyrics, but then the translation and understanding the context of the song really helps you express that song.
Like any song you play, whether it's a standard or even if it's an instrumental, you need to know the lyrics because you need to know the emotion of the tune. Or, you know what I mean? But that was part of why I started making arrangements of Akatombo, and because it felt like my music that I had been disconnected to somewhere in that, you know, that you talk about that war where we got disconnected. But I felt like it was a way for me to learn a little bit more about Japan and my roots than I did.
I mean, most of the engagement I feel like we also get is from the sanseis and stuff, you know. It's not necessarily our peers that are like
excited.
Yeah, excited by us, you know? I don't know how else to put that. And it's like the sanseis are the ones who are like, oh, we're so glad that you guys are performing because you're the only ones that do this, you know? And once they're gone, I don't know, I'd probably be out of a job, you know?
Yeah, it's so interesting. It's like I really have to comb through my brain to really think about any yonseis that are playing music.
Yeah, or who would be like willing to gig, you know? Like they might play music, but playing music and gigging are like, you know, two different things. This guy knows.
I think this also leads into maybe another topic we can touch on is supporting artists in the community.
Give us money.
But really, but really, we do a lot of gigs as community service, which kind of we're happy to do.
Yeah.
And that's if we have another full-time job. The way it's going, I just feel like it might be kind of feeding the idea that music is not a viable path career-wise, because oh look, you know, we're playing this huge gala and yet we're only being paid $100 or something. I don't know. I do think it does feel like these organizations think the music is important. The way they respond to the music, the way they ask us, you know, ahead of time if we can be the performers for this fundraiser or whatever. And you can tell that they have an appreciation for the music, but I think the understanding of like how much time goes into it, like how many resources it takes to put on music, I think they just don't know like how much that music is actually worth. If you take that same appearance and put it at a corporate level where you're making like $500 to $1,000 for that same amount of music, each person is like making that money, you know? So for a community-based event, I don't think they think our work is not important, but they may just not.
Don't know how to, they have no perspective on how to value it.
They don't know how to value it, yeah. And because we JAs are gonna just take whatever the temple can give me, you know, like, we're not really educating them either of like what they probably should be paying a musician.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's where it kind of like gets difficult, because I personally don't want to ask for any more money, but I kind of need it, but I'm not going to ask for it because I'm super JA. So the cycle continues.
Yeah. So it's your fault.
It's my fault, everybody. I'm sorry.
I gotta say, it's kind of a shame that you guys don't get paid more for what you do. Because if you think about it, music is raising the spirits of people. It's hard to quantify, right? So just hear me out, right? It's hard to quantify that and to make that important to people who ultimately make the decisions in the community centers and everything. But it's such a big responsibility to bring that joy into the community, you know? I haven't seen, especially when you can play a song that resonates with people and then you really get on beat, you know, it's kind of like the gospel thing of just like, you really feel that. And people don't want to talk about feelings, but feelings are the thing that like drives these organizations. They're the number one cause of everything, right? So like, music is the thing that you really touches those feelings, it touches those nerves, and it makes people want to do stuff, you know? I think music, if used correctly, is like the most highly effective tool you can use, you know? Second to that of illustration, of course.
That was so good.
Oh, thank you so much. Mushrooms are burning. I'll let you guys know.
Mushrooms are burning.
There's nothing more to be said,
are burning.
honestly. Well, when I see Nobuko perform at Obon's, I know that that's like a special moment where Nobuko's not at every temple performing. She's here tonight at the same time as all of us. Mm-hmm. And this is kind of like a, what is it, the saying? Ichigo Ichiya?
Mm-hmm.
It's like this one moment is it. Like, this is the moment. And it makes it more, it makes Obon more memorable for me.
Obon, coming home. Obon, to remember the dead. Obon, dancing in their footsteps joyfully.
Live performance is a way to connect with everyone. I mean, when a live performance is right, you know, you're in the zone. You're connected with your bandmates. You're all feeling it at the same time. And then when it's right, the audience is connected with you. It's this kind of one entity. And for me, there's nothing like it.
Music is meant for, it's a social thing. It's a tribal thing. It's like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's like, doesn't exist just here. It's meant to be shared, and it's actually a reflection of all of this as opposed to me.
Time to gather in a circle. See the moon is rising. Scent of incense from the temple. Dance together. Gasho. Time for Bono Dori Ruta. Ikimasho.
I felt like when I was in high school, I feel like the dream was to play at Nisei Week, you know? Like, that was the extent of my aspirations when it came to my music career. And now we do that. I'm living the life.
It's kind of true.
Yeah.
No, it's kind of true.
Like, this is where I want to be. Like, this, when it comes to being a musician, and, you know, I just want to do community stuff. I'm not trying to appeal to some broader audience, you know? I want to play for the community, you know? I'm honestly just grateful that anyone wants me to play at all, because, like, the vast majority of my time is just spent in my room, you know, with my headphones on, no one listening to it.
Very true. I have very similar memories of going to community events and seeing people on stage and being like, I want to do that one day, and just thinking that it was just only a dream.
Right.
And that it might not ever come true. But, you know, eventually, I performed with Grateful Crane, or I performed with you at these galas or festivals, or when I get to play music with you guys, I do have those moments of just like, this is a dream come true to play music.
Yeah.
Period. But also with you guys and for the community.
At these events. That we grew up going to every year. Yeah. And I remember, I think it's watching Danny Yamamoto and Johnny Mori in their Kinata Taiko group. And I was like, man, in order to play at these events, you have to be like legendary like them, you know? But then now that we're doing it, I'm like, no, you don't.
You just have to play.
You just have to play.
Whether should I love? You say woman when I need you in my arms. This house I see, without you feels so big, so empty. I try to carry on, but I get in my own way. You told me to be strong, and now you're gone, and it pains me to look back. Never thought it would hurt so bad without you. You say, don't fret, don't worry, you're strong, you're tough. Live your life, this beauty, it comes from us. Be yourself, I promise it's love. So we dance, we sing, we'll enjoy tonight and the loving company. So we dance, we sing, we'll enjoy tonight and cherish the memories. If you know it, sing along. Let's dance, let's dance. Come take my hand. Let's dance, let's dance. Come take my hand. Place your hand on your heart. Give it beating, that's the sound of our love. Look up here, I am, flying high above, painting the skies for you. That you see the wind, it's filling with stars. Your guiding light leads wherever you are. So we dance, we sing, we enjoy tonight and the lovely company. So we dance, we sing, enjoy tonight, cherish the memories. Let's dance, let's dance. Come take my hand. Let's dance, let's dance. Come take my hand. I want to hear everyone. Let's dance. Let's dance, let's dance. Come take my hand. Let's dance, let's dance. Come take my
Like I'm I'm providing music for a group that I'm so just like feel so at home with, I think back to my education, I'm like, well, this is what I did it for. You know, like this is exactly why I went to music school. This is exactly why I wanted to sing, is because I wanted to sing like for and with my
people.
Community. Yeah, my people.
Yeah. That's why, that's the dream. That's why
we're living the dream.
We're living the dream. My journey through music, maybe your journey too through music, is like having started off, we've been trained as musicians, and then having now performed in the community for so many years, I think it's like who we are today is guided by like the discovery of like accepting of who we are and still being able to perform and to share. And it's that journey that we've taken that's really led us to this point where we can say now we are Japanese American musicians. Like, we call ourselves that because we've discovered along the way that it's okay to be ourselves and a musician. We don't have to be someone else. We don't have to perform in the same way that like mainstream artists have to perform, you know?
Yeah, I think it's really interesting. I think us musicians, like, we're in a unique position in the JA community because we're asked to perform for so many different organizations. And like we've gone to so many different fundraisers or just celebrations for different organizations, and through each of those events we're learning about that community, JA history, all these important people. So yeah, with every performance, I mean, we're kind of meeting new people, but we're also learning more about JA history and in turn like our history.
We really are, yeah.
That's with the Shokudo too. It's like with every new dish that, you know, Jon makes, it's like you're learning new stories. And I think that's very relevant to how we also learn about ourselves through music, especially in the JA community.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Can I fist?
That was perfect, right?
Yeah, it really was.
Tear to my eye.
If I never had a cent, I'd be rich as Rockefeller. Gold dust at my feet on the sunny side of the street. Life can be complete on the sunny side of the street.